as if their sister team only saw nothing but silver in day number 1. It's as if in day 2, we see a team with the Midas touch and everything turns to gold as they take themselves the first chicken dinner of the day, looking very, very promising indeed. And that's kind of what we expected coming into day number 2. We knew that gold was a big, big threat to this field. We didn't see it in day number 1, but day number 2, it went very well, Avenger.
Promising for them as well, and I actually got asked from one of my friends. They wanted, to get in on this, and they wanted to be a part of this. They're the first day watching, and they asked me, "So who do you think is going to be good on day 2?" Yeah, gold. They're going to get at least one chicken dinner. You're going to be looking at their day 2 team. So,
do we have any written reference that's actually true?
That's actually 100% true, and I can show it. It's Danish though, but it'll look.
Okay, fair enough. I can only say how good blood, so I'll trust you on that one there. Yeah, but yeah, they're showing up and they're showing real good, and it's refreshing to see them actually perform. They saw black. They saw what they did yesterday, and they thought to themselves, okay, it's time for us to step up our game, and this is exactly what they've been doing. Very good improvements on their pathing here as well today, and also getting mad frags. They got 12 kills, I believe.
Absolutely. Really, really big points being racked up by gold there. One thing we do want to talk about before we kind of run down a lot of what went on in that game was actually gold and how they actually approached some of those initial circles, Avenger, because overall, it seems a little bit kind of wide on some of those circles initially.
I mean, we saw that the hard rotate from them. They came in, they rotated out into the blue, came in and had to rotate all the way in, and they actually come in the western zone. And then initially, when we saw that circle shift towards them, they just bum rushed kind of down towards where it goes. They died because they know that was the right timing to do it. So perfect position, perfect rotation from them as well, the perfect timing.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking that Ruins path for them was actually very, very good. We call these circles the Vanguard circles because it's kind of close to their looting grounds. But still, it does look like they did expect the Vanguard to be moved in further up. So they have made their homework. It shows you that the Korean teams don't play any games when it comes to doing actual research. They knew that that path would be open. All the western side was indeed very, very open for them to go quite deeply and safely without having to put up a fight until later in the game.
And something I wasn't really expecting, Boogie, coming into that game is how Honey Badger Nation decided to drop, because that was very interesting to say the least.
Yeah, they've been doing it as Crimson. I've been talking to them earlier on. They said, okay, we've been looting farm yesterday and we haven't found a single freaking scope. One of their teammates actually played 3 rounds in a row with iron sights fully. So that's a bit of a joke for them. And they said today we're going to be contesting for him in scrims, and if they don't leave, we're going to do that live in matches, and that's exactly what they did.
The funny thing with that as well, I mean, they took the farm area because the first lane was initially very bad. We expected them to go military. We expected for him to stay there, but it was kind of all the way around. So now they knew, okay, military is actually in. We talked about it yesterday. It's in our usual looting area. Nova was close to military, so they can keep the same rotations, but it kind of flipped the table. So they realized, okay, we want better loot, but they're also pinched in the farm area. They have a team on the west. I can't remember. I think it's OH. They're there. And then Windfall in Milta. So they're very pinched in just in the farm area. So they don't have enough loot. They're limping out just with one vest, one helmet, and no scopes, and not even any sights as well.
The good part about farm, of course, you got a bit of an easier rotation, a bit of an easier transfer. Even if the circle is military, then you're going to have an easier cross onto the south side. But with that being said, if you don't have guns to shoot with, then what's the point of having an easy rotation when you get there and you're completely naked and empty? And
especially when you're kind of talking about looting, obviously we saw a lot of our teams eventually getting towards North George that would normally loot North George a little bit later than is usual because of the way the plane went. But overall, the circle kind of worked out for them to get their loot, be able to go in later on. I think that's fair to say.
I mean, yeah, but that's also kind of the play style, right? I mean, they kind of want to do that, so they tend to do that, and I think it's kind of a safe choice to do it, right?
Yeah, when you're talking about the plane, it wasn't necessarily favoring a Vanguard, so they had to take a very, very slow rotation into North George Bowl. I was actually thinking for a good while that they're not going to go there whatsoever, but they did decide to go very late in. It does look like they were granted somewhat permission by the Japanese team to go and loot their little corner at the North George Bowl, and after that they came out with some decent kind of stuff. But yeah, the plane was definitely not favoring.
As you were mentioning before, though, we call those kind of circles the Vanguard circles. Talk to me about how a Vanguard actually were moving towards the later stages, because I believe that they were in a really good spot. Eventually, I think they got like 11th place, which isn't exactly great for them in those kinds of circles, but talk to us about it.
I mean, the reason why we call them Vanguard circles is because they can stay on foot. But the problem was with that, they needed the cars to go, deep dive into the shooting range. They didn't have that, so they had to stay on the ridge. So the next circle they saw pop, it kind of popped away from the ridge, and it was just only inside the lower side of it, so they had to clear the mountain. they eventually just went down south and came in, tried to come in from the east area, but then it hard shifted west again, so it was kind of closer to where they were before. But if they run down the mountain in open without any cover, they're going to get shot. So right choice, but very hard shift for them on top of each other, actually.
Every single circle was a hard shift for them indeed, and the 2+1 that they played it to perfection. Mumino granted Maxis into a circle, and then of course he was granted access to the next circle when the circle shifted away from him.
Right.
Thank God I got that one right.
You got that.
Oh, that was close. But yeah, Vanguard really played a great 2+1, and you can't play this kind of 2+1 unless you know that everybody on your team is good at keeping clutches.
Something I like to see as well during that game is we said in the pre-show that unfortunately for Team Gates they didn't have the best day in number 1. But this first game, they actually racked themselves up plenty of kills. They got 10th place in the end, so it's not the upper echelons of the placement. But I think that momentum to be able to get a few kills have to feel good at the start of day 2.
100%. I mean, they put themselves in a position to fight, and they took the fights. Yesterday they didn't take the fights. Well, they did. They didn't come out on top. But they come out of the looting area, and they came into a position where they can edge, and they pushed aggressively until the team's completely different from we saw yesterday. So I think you talk to them. I mean, they wanted to play different. They wanted to play an aggressive kind of style. Yeah. We saw that they more than tripled their kills, right, in one game compared to 4 games, right?
Yeah, they got like 4 times over, or 5 times over the amount of kills.
Yeah.
And that goes to show you how important it is to stop bickering and start working as one unit. And that's what they've been saying as well. We need to be a bit more aggressive. A lot of teams have actually told me that in this the pre-game, I suppose. And this one worked out for Team Gates superbly, it seems.
Right. A potential challenge coming in, of course, from the SEA region as well. Myth being able to totally dominate Refund Gaming on that move into the circle eventually. And they utterly destroyed them there. So number 1 seed against the number 2 seed from their region.
It was absolute slaughter there. Yeah. They stood absolutely no chance. Refund were coming out of a fight. They were busy mating up. They were busy thinking about going traversing, scouting the area that they were going to go to. But Myth heard the shots. They knew this is our chance to clear the circle before we go in. If we don't do this right now, then we're going to get caught off guard, and it's going to be a big problem for us. So they did the push. They actually had a beautiful split. One player was playing out the top of the ridge, while 2 players were coming in from the side. Worked out great for them.
And here is our round 5 of 8 results coming on in. Unfortunately for Navi, as we mentioned them in the preview game, they go out in dead last in that game. Not exactly the best start for them for day number 2. Moving on though, of course, Genji Black there. Them going out in 16th place means that there may be big shake-up towards the upper echelons of the overall standings. Let's take a look at number 1 through 10 as well, because overall, that's going to be where the big points are scored.
Yeah, this is going to be where the big points are scored, and this is a very important game for a lot of teams. And
680 points. That's going to propel them into top 3, I think. That's absolutely insane. And also Liquid they get only 190, but I think that's going to put them into first place.
Solidified.
But still, we're going to have a top 4 that's very close now. So even though, you know, sometimes when we see some of these games that we see a winner after 6, maybe 7 games, we're going to not see a win until the very last game.
And I love it. I love the fact that we're going to go through the full amount of matches to decide who the winner is here. And that's actually quite beautiful. You know, sometimes you do get a certain winner, you know, they're going to run away with the points. It seems to be going far away. But all these teams are not so far from one another.
Absolutely. And coming into today, they were at 1,100 points here with Genji Gold with an extra 680 points there. They are indeed going to be challenging for some of those top spots, which is very impressive. And they're a team that has gained huge fandom in the Korean world. They are big fan favorites. You can see it right there as well. Genji Gold, as well as Genji Black for a long time. Big fan favorite. And I think, for the most part, a lot of people looked at Genji Gold as one of the ultimate challengers for this TPP mode here in the world stage.
I mean, we expected the Genji guys to do good, both Gold and Black. We kind of expected Gold to do better after the first day. I did it personally. Black doing very good. I love that from them. The other thing, real quick, about Genji, do you think when the sign here, they have a sign, so when Gold is doing good, that they have the Ghost, and then they turn it around, and that's the Black sign? Very easy. You can support 2 teams with one sign, right?
I like that. I like that a lot. Do you know where their logo comes from, the actual double Gs? it represents a shield, the shape.
Yeah.
The space in the middle represents a sword, and then the overall shape is a heart for a support. So they've got like all DPS, tank, support kind of roles in the logo.
Pretty cool.
No?
Yeah.
And then obviously gold and black, you know. Anyway.
Yeah.
That one's a bit obvious. But beyond that, of course, they're looking very, very strong and powerful. What about Genji Black, though? Because coming into that game, they had a bit more of a rough time. They'd done furiously good in the last 3 rounds before this, but overall, that was a bit of a disappointer for them.
Yeah, you would think they would have had a harder or easier rotation. Of course, the circle was quite close to their looting grounds, and WTSG didn't put up a fight. Actually, Genji Black put up a fight against WTSG when Gaxi was thrown into the water, and WTSG were actually able to save him and drive him into the safety of just south of the shooting range. However, after that, we saw nothing from them for a good while, and their rotation didn't seem to be quite accurate, quite impactful for their leader position into the game. And that's where they lost their footing, and it seemed that they weren't able to recover it whatsoever.
And of course, AHQ here on stream, you can see them. That, for them, was the best placement that they've had so far, Avenger.
I think I'm pretty sure that's the fifth placement, so beautiful from them, and I think that's going to be a motivator for them for the next upcoming game.
I think so. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It is time once again to head over to our commentary team. We have game number 6 here. There's only 3 more games remaining for TPP PGI 2018.
That wasn't a mouthful at all. That was so smooth.
Many individual letters to enunciate there.
Yeah. The panel were talking about it, so let's just get this out of the way before we kick off into the round, before we have the countdown appear on our screen. Genji Black, things didn't go right in the first round.
Right.
But this isn't the first time this has happened to them during this competition.
Yeah, apparently, I mean, yesterday they had a slow start.
Yeah,
and
it was 14th position with 3 kills is
Right.
what they claimed in the first round yesterday.
So not ready, not esports ready, if you will, at that time. And then they had to come back and put it together and rattle off some good finishes after
It's like that China, one of those moments.
He had to wake up, take the game.
Just gonna start off the day. You know, I'm not ready yet. It takes at least 4 energy drinks before I'm actually kicking off.
And
like I need to be a full boost before I can do anything. All right.
We'll see if they can do it again today. I mean, we just saw Genji Gold have a great first start, and they didn't have a good day yesterday. I mean, It was not too bad, but at the same time, that was a great game from them. And one thing that I've noticed through that game is that they kind of avoided the strategy that a lot of teams have been adhering to, which is the fact that all teams going center, whereas they came in late. And you can see now we have the overall stats.
Yep. There is so little between both gold and black. Literally 10 points the difference between them, and Liquid barely holding on to their lead. 95 points being their advantage, but it's still not out of reach for a lot of the teams, because I know like we've got 3 rounds to go. You'd be like, well, who can actually reach this? How can you get these big points? How can you come through with it? But it looks like everyone on the left-hand side of this graph should be in some contesting point. At least the top 6, top 7 are all in the running to take number 1. And we're into the drop. We're into round 6. No delays, no long-winded casters. We're going for a straight south with a slight lean to the left, to the west, just over between shooting range and Georgia Pool Plain.
More difficulty for Team Liquid to try and get the S9 for that early loot. And we were just talking about the fact that Genji Black had a poor first game. That was great for Liquid. I mean, that was a team that has been going at them through the first day. Liquid only went out in 9th place the last time around, but they picked up some kills, and that was enough for them to grab onto that first place position and hold on to it.
Yep.
And for Genji Gold, I mean, coming way up the leaderboards.
Why does this keep happening?
Oh, 4 a.m.
Honey Badgers and 4 a.m. continuously fighting over the military base. A spot coming into this tournament, I think every single analyst was saying is like, oh, I don't think anyone really wants to go there. It seems like such a hard rotation. Where's the boat path? Where's the car path? It's always overlapping something. You're going to get gunned down.
The one thing that I've noticed now is that I think 4 a.m. has decided that Honey Badger Nation is a weak enough team that they can try and push on top of them and take this military base away from them.
Oh, looking for the first hit. Lion K does it. Savage thought. Make thought he actually had the car away, and you can hold on to your guts, but OMG contesting around the ferry pier, and you can crawl. It's not like, who's nearby? You got Ragnar's nearby.
I know
you
what's
can
happening.
potentially use him as bait, but he has to run so quickly behind the car for cover. Where's the shot? The line is going to be there, and it's actually with the DP. Yeah, you're not going to hit that. The first kill does go the way of OMG.
And
He'll steal the car, and Ragnar, you're going to fire up a couple of shots just for good measure. Is there revenge on the menu? Lion K, he's too fast, and that's a DP.
Very, very aggressive there. Nice play. I was expecting the beat down there, but it did not happen. And look at this circle.
Okay.
Finally.
A Na'Vi circle?
Yeah, for Na'Vi, they have a clear path. They can take that Pacific Coast Highway, go all the way up north, and try and get something together here.
Yeah, and you don't have Black as well as WTSG forced to move so early on as well. You even got CGX on the northern side of Georgia Pole who just own that. So it's going to be more of a contest to the eastern side. It's going to be that push over. Gold, who have got probably the longest path to go, will still have to get through Honey Badgers and 4 AM if they want to go the southern bridge, the southern west bridge. And if they go through the north, they have to go through CGW, Myth Trust, Knights are nearby, TG, Ghost. You know they're going to own up this area.
So WTSG, this is their time. This is a circle nearly centered on South George, their home, their namesake. Will WTSG finally have the time and space needed to try and take a round here?
Man, do you even stay in there? Like, Black has been having your numbers so much.
That's
do
true.
you try and bail out? Do you even try and... would any team in their right mind try and take the hill?
4 AM leaving the military base early. Looks like Honey Badger Nation will have that early pressure alleviated, but now face the fact that 4 AM might want to hang out on the edge.
It's just like the second time we've seen them being forced out of the military base so quick. You said they were happy to battle against Honey Badgers, but this is such an early bailout to a place which has probably already been looted, judging on the plane's trajectory.
4 AM is not a new team. They know that early fights can be dangerous. I was wondering if they were going to get aggressive and try and take over the military base, maybe a show of force with Honey Badger Nation, but we've seen in the past teams trying to crash center. The Chiefs have a good center position now, but the one thing I've been wondering is, are teams going to start holding on to the edge rather than crashing middle? It gets so dense in the middle of that play zone that maneuverability becomes impossible. Genji Gold did it the last game. They rode the edge of the circle in, they stayed relatively passive, and they rode that to victory.
Maybe it's just easy enough to just crash the first circle and then move with the edge. Like, as long as you can center up quite nicely. Of course, this is going to be a little bit more in favor of Chief, actually, because they've been taking Gatka as well as just at the foot of the mountain. So maybe they're going to be feeling a little bit more comfortable about their positioning in this game, too.
Here they are, the winners from last game. Genji Gold very far from the circle, furthest team outside the Knights, and they have to cross a couple of, a bridge and get through a couple of teams on the way to the first zone, and we will see maybe a momentum on their side and a little bit of motivation seeing their brothers just a little bit ahead.
Yeah, maybe. It's I'm actually just wondering, like, how do you even take this road out? Like, even if you all get in a boat,
a little bit behind, I should say.
Even if you get in a boat, you're gonna have to go straight up through the eastern side of Pachinki on that one little area. If not, you're basically scaling a cliff face, and I don't think we've added in like rope climbing just yet to PUBG.
Rappelling is maybe in the future, but as far as Gold is concerned, I wonder now if they're going to try and do something a little bit similar to last round and just kind of let this circle not really pressure them, allow teams to crash center
actually
and
play
come
like,
in late. Yeah, it's coming late.
Like Genji Black was doing all through the second, third, fourth round yesterday. Possible. Very, very possible.
WTSG moving out. You're right. They've actually left their loot spot early, coming to the hospital, maybe getting a little bit closer to the two pairs, the two splits, I should say, of WTSG.
4 AM with this run, they're just going to drive straight into the middle of three teams. Team Gates is nearby, and in fact, they're already set up in the compound. And with the shots, Chillo can't connect enough of them, but he'll have more than one opportunity. Going after the captain, able to clip him down to 50%. But no knock.
Luke is already low health. He's got to be careful here.
I'm wondering if 4 AM even have the optics and the weaponry to take this mountain and hold this mountain. They get up, but they don't have everyone to. They may not have enough to play with.
With Dossie, not a lot of horsepower, not a lot of torque, but they will get up. Gaxi on the rotate just below by himself. I imagine that WTSG wants to try and grab either a natural cover position or a compound along that South George mountain. And yes, they will grab this compound here.
Yep. Good lockdown, at least so Vada Miraku can hold it, keep their options open. after the encroachment does come in. Of course, it's taking a long time for the rest of the teams on the eastern side to come forward, but WTSG, Gaxi, as you said, he was doing that quick movement forward, and it's Black who get the knock, and Gaxi, not a lot of friends around. It looks like, okay, yep, support is on the way. The medics have been called. Autobots, what have you got?
All they need is a siren at this stage. They're going to go try and rescue Gaxi.
He's on the other side of the mountain, though.
Genji Black has only one player in position to put any pressure there, and they don't think they're going to want to get too aggressive and overextend. But the Chiefs are all the other side of the mountain as well. But yes, Genji Black is going to go at Gaxi and try and get that down finish.
Guarantee the points. Keep that lead in front. But
Larson.
they'll have more problems though, because you got 4 AM who's nearby too.
Larson can't leave. He's got to hold on to that compound for his team. There's Gaxi. Sad in a bush by himself.
The real slow bleed. And
Sexy Pig can't go. Sexy Pig can't go for it. This might be a trap. Essentially, you never know.
Sexy Pig can't get the connection. Gaxi's still gonna be covered by the bush. I don't know if Sexy Pig really wants to peek out. He's already been shot a couple of times. And yeah, they're actually going to get the res up. Gaxi will come back up.
Nice positioning on the res. Sexy Pig can't do anything about it. He's just kind of waiting to see if anyone else is on the way, but he's disabling vehicles. Really smart play. And you got to wonder, is it worth it for WTSG now to try and recoup this person? But it could be good down the road. He
couldn't disable the Flaming Dacia, and that's the escape mobile. He manages to connect once again. That's a 50% Gaxi right there, but Sexy Pig, the final knock from range won't come. WTSG, they get back onto the southern side of the hospital, back into their compound and together.
That's damage and a knock and meds being used very early in this game.
Look at Na'Vi just taking these western compounds. They know no one is below them, but they probably should have a closer look towards their northern side.
CGW just rotating around, looking for a spot to call home. Savage can hear them moving around, maybe looking to see. Savage has been playing well, but they haven't been able to be aggressive, not really getting into team fights, and they have lost a player early.
Oh, Mr. Yoppie, say goodbye.
The Badger Nation and CGW rotating right next to each other.
It's just Savage. As you said, they've been playing well. Now they're going to hit these shots to ensure the passing by kills. And, they got a lot of them
I was
in.
going to say that looked on target. Nice down.
And teamwork. Levery knocked out, and friends nearby do not appear to be existent. They're already locked inside the compound. There's a honey badger between his friends as well. So Savage just push over the hill, ensure the kill, while Na'Vi trying to open up on CGX, rotating into the open fields as the car was about to blow up. She and Blue gets knocked. That's from CGX too. They try and take the comms tower. Wow. Pure Boy, he's got nowhere to cover. There's just a roaming Dacia rolling down the middle of the open.
The Ghost Riding Dacia floating past.
Somebody was in this at one point of their life.
CGX is in a really bad spot. This is where Na'Vi tries to just secure kills and are now shining in their compound hold and split with Drainies. Pure Boy is in trouble.
Yeah, this is exactly what Na'Vi wanted, right? They know there's nothing to the south. They hold the western side, and then they can see where the circle pushes. But this is their hunting zone. But the hunting zone is very, very clustered. There's lines of teams everywhere. To the southern side, just off the east of the swamp, it is, well, I think there's 3-4 teams currently engaged in fights around that point. And the Gatka Hill and the Gatka buildings to the south, they're all under control too.
Fast Rail also being down. Now Honey Badger having to react to that. A good line of sight. We'll see if this is going to be another pickup here.
Quick.
Savage. He has to back off.
Pure Boy will finally bleed out. Fast Trail looks like he's going to have the same thing unless Grizzly starts his run. Here come the tracer bullets. Wick, he'll actually drive forward. He'll get the pickup as actually Grizzly, he was enough of a distraction. He didn't get knocked down, so they're going to get the res up onto Fast Trail, and Grizzly will survive.
The smokes are going to dissipate. They're going to have to med. Grizzly's also low and
clip him. Just clip him once.
They're just trying to shoot him in the toes as the best they can. Savage has been doing well to put pressure on them, but if they don't keep it going, they're going to back off. This is great for Honey Badger Nation. They were in trouble.
Yeah, and that's a real nice hill. If they can just have Savage not on the opposite one, then they can focus looking down towards the open field where they want to fight, use the Deathlay to their advantage. As Mistros, they start the convoy. They moved like a fleet. They looked like an aircraft group. Just
Flying V.
Yep. Is the Mighty Ducks really the greatest way to go?
This is a formation. You can do that with airplanes, not just for hockey players. Looking at Gold, arriving late to the circle. This is the strategy that worked for them last game. And the circle is going to shift all the way south. So a lot of density going to be forming on that northwestern side of the play zone. Sorry, northeastern side of the play zone. God B is there, and you can already see all the vehicles moving. The Knights also coming in late.
I loved how Myth was so slow with their movement forward. And they're just like, okay, we'll wait. We're on the edge of the circle. All right, gun it. Where can we get? Maybe not very far. Ghost opening up fire as Myth just make the gauntlet run. This is gladiators at the moment.
Gatka.
Maybe they pull in towards Gatka. It's the only unoccupied position they could potentially take. Instead, they'll take the Defilade around it, but they've got the Chiefs to the north. They got OHM to the south.
Bumper cars out here. Gatka, I imagine these teams expect it to be occupied, but it's difficult to defend. A lot of buildings to spread your team around, so Myth and a lot of these guys are just going to avoid that and try and get center. This is something that is going to cost Myth if they're not careful. They're in this wide open field. Genji Gold also on the way, but they're sharing some.
Oh, HQ mid-trust. Can they actually win this fight? The knockdown's already there. It's a 1-1 trade-off with the knockdowns. As Humboya, he's getting K3 back in, but here comes K3 with the grenade.
No support.
Push mid-trust back, but Winner's already been knocked out totally, and K3, at least he's got the UAZs to give him some level of cover, but where's the follow-up? As you said, no support. K3's got all the work to do himself, and he's already bailing out into the UAZ, run away from the grenades, and
right
back down the hill into CGX, while Refunder are assaulting the Chiefs. They want to take the compound, and they're going to be able to do it, or maybe not. Potato, not only does he get the knock, he finished him off. He wanted the 15 points, but P for Potato cannot do it, that level of aim. And Refund, they'll have one player casualty, but the compound is theirs.
Nice pickup for them. Nice building crash. Didn't cost them too much, but look at this. It's HQ now sharing a building. 4 AM is there as well. Captain has stopped. Oh, he flashed himself.
Yeah, I think he's blind.
Careful with
4 AM. Hitting the rock. Black real close. Esther won't know about this. Yukin opens up, but he misses the shot. Reveals the position. He's taking shots from the far side too. So Black back into the Defilade. Esther does the jump back towards the rock, and now he's preparing his own grenade. Look for it to come towards 4 AM, and that looks sweet. Right behind him, that double knock from Esther.
The follow-up grenade coming. Yunroot wants more.
They want the kills is what they want.
That's
with
right on
no
top
risk.
of them.
All reward. 4 AM lose 2.
And actually AHQ won the fight as well.
And they got more
B's
support.
down. 4 AM's eliminated.
Black just came in from all sides and knock out 4 AM. The first team to drop this time. But they give Genji Black more of those sweet points. 3 kills, 45.
HQ got involved there as well. Captain was spread out by himself. I think he got caught in that building, but here's Savage once again. And Genji Gold still rotating the very far south, all the way around the bottom of the circle, and are going to come up just a little bit south of where Na'Vi is positioned.
Why does it feel like they're just playing for perfect positioning? But Na'Vi are split in this 2-2. So there's no way anyone can come up the west coast without them knowing about it, and they've got a really great position from that vision from that southern position too.
Really nice circle management from Genji Gold. I like the way they position themselves. No one anywhere near them. And for Savage, holding a 2 split right next to Honey Badger Nation. Not sure if this is intentional, but I think so. Yeah, I don't think they can really do anything about this. Honey Badger Nation just a little bit too close.
Yep.
CGX and CGW also sharing real estate, but Myth is dead center, and it looks like they've grabbed onto that radio tower position.
They're on the radio tower, but it's always a fun one because in the stage when the circle's this big, there's still enough of an angle, a high ground position that you can reach to see at the Defilades. So Mythtrust will be forever under fire, but hey, this is third person. Stay prone, look over the top, use your cast for cover. And here comes Gold. They're already taking fire from Drainus on the side, so they're heading east, and that's going to take them right into the Savage line. The Honey Badgers, CW, and CGX. Everyone's there, and the circle centers perfectly.
Nice dead center circle. This is good for Myth. Na'Vi having great map control on their side of the zone. Avangar on the way down. I don't think they're going to get that far. Uba and Molotoi will keep them from getting too close to their building. That's where the split becomes a problem. If Avangar comes right at them and decides to get aggressive, it's going to be a 4v2 situation with Drainies and Uba nowhere near to support.
Gold, they're taking forever to get in, but here they are. They arrive on the side of the swamp, and then they realize they're getting shot from 2 different teams, and oh my god.
Avangar is moving all the way south.
But he's driving. Diaz is driving to the middle of Gold and the rest of Na'Vi that's there.
Oh, there's 2 on the back of this motorcycle. This is going to be tough.
Oh, no! Shot on the way down! Lucky was there. Keen will get knocked. It will be a quick trade-off.
Nice trade.
Lucky just whipped it up, but Ares having AVG pinned. Crawl back behind the trees to get the res back up again. Lucky, They know they have to push him, and here comes the rest of AVG. Grenades are being prepared by CGX.
Gold is not going to help. The rest of Gold is not going to come help Loki.
They'll let him die. Maybe not worth it. Ooh.
Little miss there. Nice nade.
Yeah, Rio, he found that perfect line. That's the nade I was talking about. He's preparing. He's just looking for the easy kill. AVG would have an easy way to get back off that tree line.
I'd like to see CGX get aggressive here. They've got 2 downs. That's a seam in the defense. They can get up there, but there's only 2 players left on this team. I think they're just a little bit worried about what AVG can do to return.
Yeah, maybe you just hold the position.
Oh, still damage coming in.
Yeah, it's coming from the other side. It's Wick on the far side. Grizzly's actually going to get the kill into AVG, so say goodbye to Diaz, and Keen was knocked out too.
Nice opportunistic chance there for Honey Badger Nation to get involved. Avangard getting it from all sides. Here comes more grenades from Rio.
How many have they got? The supplies, the never-ending red zone fabricated by CGX. If it bounces off the side and down to the car, it'll be nice.
We talked about this yesterday, how pro teams decide that they want more meds and more grenades, things that are much more important than ammunition, and they've been using that utility to destroy each other all through this tournament.
Big open field. Liquid are already starting their own repositioning. The one small compound to the southeast.
Current leaders, Liquid.
Yep.
Not by a lot.
Yeah, not by a lot, definitely. Black is looking for their kind of opening. AHQ have the compound in front of them, but they still have the defilade on the hillside, and they're inside the circle, so they're okay with this.
WTSG, their mates from South George, have moved a little further away from the edge of the circle. Genji Black only looking at AHQ in front of them, but this swamp area is getting more and more crowded. Avangar, Savage, Honey Badger Nation, Genji Gold had to back off when they lost their player.
It's Fastrel in the observatory. He's got eyes onto Gold, and they're taking damage, I think, from Welcome to South George. From the long shot.
It's really hard to deal with this spot because that swamp area is basically impassable. So this whole ridge is where players like to post up. Savage has taken the low ground position, which is going to be difficult for them to deal with because here come the Knights. They have arrived, and we're looking at another circle shift. This is going to be huge depending on where you're positioned.
Yep, this is going to force teams off one side because no one's really locked in the middle apart from Mistrust as well as Refund. They're the only ones who probably get to stay where they are.
65 players alive. That's a lot for this late in the game going into minute 19.
Time to condense, and it's almost smack bang middle. A little shift to the southwest. Now, this works for the Swamp teams. They're not going to be forced out of their positions, but Na'Vi will have to come out of their spots. AHQ, Black, WTSG, Gates, Chief, Liquid, OMG, Savage Knights, all must move.
They're Genji Black maybe making a mistake here. They're trying to run the gauntlet. They've already lost Esther. Sexy Pig in the front vehicle. He's going to tumble.
Oh, he actually
landed on his feet. He's got cat-like feet.
Houdini escape levels. They just try and find a small little defilade and hold their position there. Mistrust may poke their heads up and just a bit back into the car. Get out of the car. Unroot just repositioning it so they actually have it for cover. But WTSG, they're running forward.
The nades are coming.
They're preparing for the run. And Black, defense, they know they need to split up as they're bouncing over. Chromatic takes it to the front.
That one bounced through as well, right on top of them.
Right deep, right on top of Yoon. And goodbye. Chromatic can med back up again, but WTSG,
they got to get out of here.
Yeah, they do.
That vehicle's in trouble too, though. Chromatic having to hold security. Sexy Pig making a run for it.
That
vehicle's in trouble.
15% of its health. Sexy Pig can't even keep it straight. But you'll find a new deflate out of the reach of the nades of WTSG as Ghosts are happy to have their own shots towards Liquid and Scoom and
Sandy. They crashed their motorcycle.
They actually flipped her out. Ibiza will do the same type of run. The pressure was on.
Look at
Ibiza. The traces are flying everywhere. The ultimate battle, but he's come towards Larsen's compound. He'll run around the side. Jump through the door. He's locked at the bottom. It closes the door in Larsen's face. Ibiza will run to the other building and just sit there and count his lucky stars.
Larsen switched his weapon at the last second. It looked like Ibiza shut the door on him, and that prevented him from going down. Now Na'Vi, I imagine they are going to go at mid here. I wanted to say this before. Na'Vi has tried to take this position. This is how they won the tournament against Ghost not too long ago. But they have AHQ to deal with first. M4, again, the last man standing.
Shots coming from behind them. Na'Vi can't keep the push going to onto AHQ. K3 and Wason should go down, but so does Molodoy. And he is in a bad position. Here's the man, Mistrust, doing the work to keep Na'Vi pinned at the hay bales.
Na'Vi
Gold is actually in as well, so they can keep this pressure up and keep Na'Vi pinned.
Na'Vi wanted the radio tower. That's something I've seen them many times try to do, and really it didn't work out for them because they had too much crossfire. HQ again in a position to really do some damage as a solo player.
I believe M4 is still limping. Kramer starts his run. Not that much of Knights left, but they get themselves into the circle at least. Don't know for how long. AVG with their still remaining players in the swamp trying to crack at Knights. But Mythos have the perfect spot still for this circle right on top of the hill.
The first place team, Liquid, facing elimination. Ibiza holding on. Larson sharing the building with him, but Ghost is on the edge of the circle. Look at this.
Vard started his campaign against Genji Black a while ago. Sexy Pig just wants to stay put next to the blowing up car.
WTSG and Genji Black been going at each other, but Sexy Pig getting pressure. Looks like from Refund. Yeah, from long distance.
They have the line, and that's it.
They're eliminated.
Genji Black will go out in 18th position.
Refund picking up some kills here. WTSG now also on the move. Refund looking for more.
Open for those crisp shots. The circle is about to finish.
OMG down to the bottom of the circle. Relatively quiet this game.
Yeah. Just enjoying staying alive.
Just hanging out.
There's 16 other teams who are enjoying exactly the same
middle is
type
going
of
to be
feeling.
a bloodbath. If it centers again on Myth, it's going to be a total bloodbath. Everyone on the edge of the circle right now is going to have to move at least a little bit. And it looks like it's going to be OMG getting the circle. Myth is going to hold an advantage.
Na'Vi will have to push out of here. Gold will move as well, but Myth Trust has to be assaulted. Refund, WTSG and Na'Vi, someone needs to claim the northern side of this circle. Team Gates is already moving quickly. They're coming down fast to gain that position in the defilade. It's the same defilade that Na'Vi died in earlier.
So this is the clutch area right here. Ibiza has the zone, but he's by himself. Larson is there as well, but Ghost has to come right at them. OHM has to leave their compound. Team Gates and the Chiefs have to make a move. Looks like Team Gates is going to be the first.
Oh, this is nice from Gold. They're dropped in, and they're looking for that push up towards AVG. Gaxi is finally dealt with by Pino. He was that kind of floating player for him, and well, Myth, another great line. Gaxi actually goes all the way down. They thought that was good cover, WTSG, not quite. Now
a grenade in the hut, maybe.
Sim, is it actually going to bounce in nicely?
So close.
It breaks the door, but Sims actually gets knocked down. It's Savage coming to the rescue of AVG.
Well, a little bit of a flank there happening, but the rest of Gold does not want to give this up.
Yeah.
They know Avangar's in there.
But they can't run it in, and if they got a grenade, pop it through the window. Keen is there, and he's keen to get out, runs around the corner looking for the shoot down, but it won't be enough. The nades are still flying.
That, you know what, you can hear that grenade pop, and that means that Keen had to run out rather than just accept his fate. Yep. And now Ghost has to move against OHM, and here comes Na'Vi on Myth.
Yep, Myth keeping the lines right. Na'Vi can't find an easy way up. Drainus will actually be knocked out at the moment. Vard has no real line, even though he's got the angle to work with from Miraku. But Na'Vi just in a horrible pressure position. They're tossing the nades down, trying to force Vard back off their front. While Ghost,
OHM only has smokes. There's no cover for them. They have to throw one at a time just to be able to move, and their smokes are dissipating. OHM is in trouble, but they're just trying to use as much utility as possible.
How many teams are flighting them up? You've got OMG, you've got Knights, you've got a little bit of Ghost. Everyone's just shooting into OHM, running the open.
Oh, no.
Oh, running in towards the ultimate gunfire.
Everyone got one of their teammates.
Somehow Colorus was still alive to the end, but Chiefs is actually going to be knocked down before OHM take the fall. Balak will find a tree to hide behind.
Balak's actually a little bit out of position here, having to stop behind the tree.
Oh, he's getting hit down. Lion K is able to connect. So Balak is knocked for the moment, and Ghost, they've got no way to get back over to him.
They're in the same position. OMG has a great spot on them. They have high ground. Ghost has only one vehicle that has not been damaged, and they have to blow it up.
Yep, that front one can still blow up. McCoy is close to it, but Ghost knew OMG could just focus their fire and just blow up two of their players instantly.
I guarantee that Ibiza is being told not to move by Scoom right now, as he could definitely throw a grenade out and try and do some damage to Ghost, who's right behind him, but he just has to worry about Larson. The nades are coming.
Yep, play for position right now. That's all he can really do. At the same time, I see that circle, and, well, They have to come out of the compound. Refund as well as Gate will have that battle on the northeast corner. And OMG will be finally forced off the hill, but there's a Honey Badger floater and the rest of Savage to deal with. A Miracle.
Oh,
all right,
here comes the
from
push.
multiple sides. Nothing Miracle could do to save himself from that one. Nithras chalk up another.
Ooh.
And Mossy. Oh, do they see him?
They
Around
must.
the corner.
Ooh, not gonna happen.
You will see him, and Mossy will get dropped. And now the rest of Gate starting to actually envelop back towards the rest of Refund. They'll have to come up the hill, but by doing so, they'll expose themselves to Mithras still on the hill.
They need to smoke that UAZ and start throwing grenades.
It'll take some time. Foxy's already going to start to smoke to bring Kramer back up again.
OMG now actually taking a position in the low ground. Questionable choice there. We'll see if it works out.
They're actually in the circle, or just on the edge, and they're using the vehicles as more
Here
cover.
comes Ghost.
And Mortify being dropped. Refund actually going to finish off Mossy too. Team Gates, it's an absolute death crevice that they have found themselves in.
Oh,
and
Pizza, run!
Pizza, he's right next to Profi.
Oh
They
my
don't
God.
know it. They're in a smoke box right now. They don't see anything. Profi, can't you smell his BO?
He's throwing smokes one at a time. He knows he's there. He can hear the footsteps.
He's making the run. It's like watching a game of Snake, but with smokes.
If he has to have 30 smokes, Profi's trying to find him.
Pizza!
Larson's out there.
He's taking the bike. He's got a better form of maneuvering.
He has to get in front of this smoke chain. Ibiza using his utility masterfully here.
This is so
just trying to
stupid.
get away.
This is so stupid, Profi. We can see him clipping through the smoke.
How many smokes
but I
does
can
he have?
guarantee you, Ghost cannot see him.
Oh my God, Ibiza, what do you...
He just needs he needs that backpack.
How
Oh,
many
they're running through. They're trying to run into it to find, but Profi's taking damage. It's Ghost who's taking the kills. It's not even Ibiza as he does the smoke run.
Ibiza, go!
Path to victory comes through covert operations. But where do you go? I think he's out of smokes. I think he's all totally
The circle's
smoked out.
coming. The circle's on the way. Profi's
Beekeeper.
waited too long. Profi, the last man standing for Ghost. The circle at their backs.
McCoy is going to take to it. Ibiza's looking for the grenade to try and hit into Mortify. It's a little bit off target. It's a little bit further to the back. Now Profi starts to run Ibiza.
they're right next
Look
to
to your
each other.
right now. Profi will see him.
Oh.
The run is done. It's over. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, everyone else is still fighting on the map.
Oh my gosh. That was the greatest use of smokes I've ever seen. Profi will go down, all for naught. He does outlast Ibiza, but just barely. Now OMG versus the Knights.
This is a real great position for Knights. They've got the perfect defilade, the ability to see down towards OMG and Zhao Hai. It looked like he's about to run it up with the car. Unable to do so, just got into his own level of defilade. As the,
that
as
nade
the
looks
grenade,
good.
it's
Ooh.
good. It hits Dre, but so low on life. Bounces himself out and out of range of the OMG toss.
The Knights do have vision, but there's two ridges they're both using. OMG and the Knights can see each other, but they know each other are there, but they don't have direct line of sight. The Knights have a bit of an advantage here, but they have to deal with each other. The zone is essentially empty. It's now Myth having to leave their radio tower, and that swamp is going to empty. CGW, the only team other than Larson in the zone.
Yeah, there's that gold floater. Esco is just sitting on the northern side, potentially able to slip himself forward as Mythtrust will come down. Vard will have to make his run too. They're the two big floaters left over.
They're kind of pinched, but a very long distance. But Myth is wasting a little bit of time here. That circle is going to force them out of cover. The Knights need to be patient, but they have to deal with OMG. They're in a really tough spot.
Yeah, they can't let OMG just push the hills. They have to wait it out, and their timing should be right. When Mythtrust come down to the south, and this will happen in 8 seconds' time, they actually nade. That second nade is right on target too, Kramer.
They're pushing.
Here comes the extra ones. Toss everything you got. Knights are smoking up, and OMG, they take the hill. They take the seed.
They want it.
will be dropped. Dre will be the final one from Knights. You know where he is. It's the smoke box once again. They want to wipe out Knights so OMG could be the ones to push in. Still understanding that Team Gates is off to their right, but they haven't finished the job yet.
They're on the flank. Myth is on the way now as well. They're getting involved. Knights need to deal with this, but they have only one left standing. OMG needs to push Mortify right behind him as well.
He could actually get the pickup. It looks like OMG is too worried about Mortify sitting behind him. He's shooting from behind as well, looking for this target. But now Dre, he's managed to close the distance on Boxing. There's still smokes available. I don't think OMG's got any more grenades left. Mortify will finally be dealt with, so OMG, eyes front, eyes towards the west to go up the Knights. And do they even have one? Where is this grenade? The smoke is still out very, very thick, and Knights, Dre, he's gonna get this final pickup.
Oh, they are gonna have.
Yep,
They got the
pickup is
res.
there.
They have to leave, but now it's all fire coming into the smoke. OMG wants this.
Lion K had the line, and they're going to finish off Drake quickly, secure the kills. That's the 7th for OMG. They'll love the 8th. They're going to walk right over the top of Vox. They may actually think he's even dead, not realizing he's taken out. Honey Patch Nation, they'll go out
all past him.
They don't know? Do they not know? How many times can people hide inside
The
of smoke?
flashbang's out. The flashbang's out.
Oh, if he just pops this on the side, turn the face.
He flashed himself.
Okay, well,
it happens.
know you're bleeding in the circle. Eska, first aid kit. You're chunking real hard. He'll finish the first aid in time. Voxic, he's right next to him. Got him down. Get the kill. Take the 15 points. The rest of OMG deal with the rats in the cage. Get around the back. Zhao Hai, Lion K, they still don't know. These smoke provides so much cover. Silent is there on the right side. They did a nice Trinity Triangle, and then they just got rid of him.
Voxic had an opportunity there, but now it's Myth in front of OMG. Myth has it down as well. CGW has been waiting this out. WTSG still in this game, but right now it's Myth and OMG facing off.
Yep, the pickups are there from Myth Trust. They can at least get themselves back up, but considering WTSG's movement, Vard, Kurad causing problems. Came in close with a shotgun, actually finishes off Vard.
Larson looking for, he spotted him. Larson, I think, was spotted there, and now trading in the house.
Marimart, he's going to push him. Larson still on the run. There's that S12K going to work. Blam, blam, blam.
1v1 situation now between CGW, Kurad. No time to, he does have time to first aid now. Larson stuck in this health, and the grenades are out from OMG.
That zone is restricting so hard. Larson has to come out. The shots are ringing from that bottom compound. They've both got a building each, but it's OMG on the east, Myth on the north. They've got the numbers, they just don't have the spacing. This will help. Kurad will finally be finished off by Minoru.
That was a nice pickup there. Kurad being eliminated. Now, that's actually good for the last man standing, which is Larson. He's going to have to play Super Snake here as Myth has control with OMG.
All snakes follow Myth.
This is nice control. Oh, actually, it's not going to work out. They caught that flanker.
Larson, he actually made it to the hay bale. He's not inside the circle just yet, but as you said, the Myth flanker is taken down. It's OMG who have that extra little cut around.
Swift is now in a position, or sorry, excuse me, Svit has to snake a little further, but OMG's playing super aggressive.
He sees him. He sees so many of them. Just wants to actually stand up for a second. One, looking for the second.
Circle's
He's
there.
chunking so hard. Svit takes a bullet too, but the push is coming from Mythtrust. Is Honboya around the side, left and right. Ring a Rosie. It's a maypole. And Zhao Hai.
Larson is the last man standing.
Wrapped up as a streamer. Like, is he? Where's the OMG player? Is silent on the side. So there's still 3 teams up. Larson is on the far side, looking for his own shot to try and get involved in this. It's Silent who's up on the hill, but Myth are losing players. Down to 2 teams now. It's finally
Larson.
OMG is the one eliminated. It's 1v1 because you've got a knockout. No way, can Larson? They've got 5 kills in total for WTSG, but can he finish this? Has he got grenades? Did he fight all the way through? Here
comes the grenade.
Brad toss at Kobe, my life. Around the corner.
Short.
It hit the hay bale, but it got him off the revive. We have 2 players left. 1v1. Hay bales separate them only. Who's got a grenade? I don't think they got anything. This will come down to the aim, and you know where it's moving. The circle, smack bang in the middle. In 3, 2, 1, constrict.
This is all about patience. Who is going to be the first to peak? They know and have all vision here. Larson has ditched his backpack. He has the M4 at the ready.
They look equal. I don't think this circle will actually give either of them an advantage. They look almost right on the money. If you're looking like a carpet balls right now, put a tape measure between the 2 of them. It is equal distance between the 2.
Circle will force them out. They've only got a small amount of time to deal with it. It's going to be 100% aim and reaction time. Who has the upper hand here?
Do you bait it? Do you wait for it? Do you actually hope there's that small inch of the circle is coming close to Honboya?
It looks like Larson has the advantage.
Is it? Just by a little bit. It's coming up behind Honboya.
And
then Larson, he's looking. He's looking.
He knows it.
Who's the first one coming? Honboya. It's going to be time to move in just a second, and there it is.
It's really equal.
But the winner! It comes to both sides, but it is WTSG who take it.
Wow, what a finish!
I cannot believe he came in through the side, eliminated OMG. They look so good for positioning, and then it came down to a 1v1. You keep your hopes alive. They took 6 kills in total, but they take the chicken dinner.
Larson throwing the backpack, using the grenades, anything he had at his disposal. WTSG was on the back foot that entire game. They were knocked so early, but they kept it going. They just tried to power through, and eventually it came down to Larson and his sneaky snake ability, and he took that 1v1 just by a hair.
And I can't believe, too, we get to have a great lineup with the top 3 really changing hard. You were looking for OMG to actually step up. We were talking about that at the very start. They still got 3rd, and they got 11 kills out of it. You had Myth coming through as well with 14 kills in that 2nd position.
Really nice game from all these top 3 guys. I actually think that based on kills alone, that Myth might have a slight edge.
Yep.
I mean, that's 14 total kills.
They should have got more points than WTSG.
I believe so, but really Myth had a great position at the radio tower. They rotated very well, and ultimately OMG, I think, had a great position, but that flanker going down really cost them, and it didn't give them that maneuverability, that line of sight they needed to deal with OMG as quickly as they could. But I mean, that was a great game.
That was 7th position Myth, 9th position WTSG, and well, how far do I have to? I have to scroll that far for OMG. It was 6th position, new blood into the top 3. Love to see it. Love to see more. It'll be coming up in just a bit. Look for it to come towards 4 a.m. and that looks sweet. Right behind him, that double knock. Bouncing over, that one's good. Right on top of Yoon. And goodbye. Now, they don't see anything. Proppy, can't you smell it being over? He's throwing smokes. One of that. Now Proppy starts to try to beat him. Look at Proppy will see him. The run is done. It's over. He'll finish the first 8 in time. Foxic, he's right next to him. Got him down. Get the kill. Take the 15. It's going to be time to move in just a second, and there it is.